lot of people when they start, they want to start with a partner, right? So you actually had a partner with your cleaning company. So I kind of want to ask you, like what adjustments have you made since the partnership ended?
We ended up parting our ways, not on the best terms, unfortunately. So aside from like being depressed and feeling betrayed and all these other things, I had a business now that I had to run on my own. The hiring, the training, buying supplies, cleaning rags, restocking things, like doing all of the boots on the ground stuff. I completely freaked out. I ended up telling my team, listen, we're going to change. I'm going to restructure the business. You will have to start your own businesses. You are going to have to get your own insurance. You're going to have your own vehicles. The question is, what kind of personality do you have, right? Are you going to resent somebody if you're working more than them? Do you take constructive criticism well? Can you take directions from other people?
1,000%. Google Ads was like your number one way for attracting customers, right? Are you doing them yourself, or do you pay somebody else to do that for you?
I tried on my own and it was a fail because they are a little bit complicated. Oh, I tried Facebook ads, and I'm like, but did you take like a little mini course? Did you do something? Or maybe even some YouTube videos out there are amazing, tutorials, right? But I wouldn't say try to do anything just like on your own. At least watch a tutorial, and if you don't get the results out of something, it's because you did them yourself.
Yeah, I got it.
It's a 100% full-time job.
Headed to the top, ain't none of y'all stopping me. Used to say I never get a ring, Charles Barkley. Now I got a wife, got kids, own property. Bubble-eyed beans that look like that be watching me. Okay, I lied about the beans, but that was hard though. I'm still in that black act, but she starred though. Cause that's all it takes. I'm flashing for. I'm on my grind, not no more fashion show.
What's up, y'all? It's AJ Simmons back with another great interview for you guys. And today's guest is no stranger to the show. As a matter of fact, she's a successful cleaning business owner as well as a successful cleaning business coach. And she's one of the leading influencers in our space. So I'm proud to have her speaking at this year's CBN conference, y'all. So please welcome back the owner of Spotless Cleaning, Miss Carolyn Arellano. What's good, Carolyn?
Hello. Thank you, AJ, for having me. Thank you. What's going on, Clean Biz Network family?
Absolutely. Welcome in. I appreciate you for coming. So for those who may have forgotten or just may not know, for a little bit, just give us a little bit of background information, where you're from, all of the good stuff about you.
Absolutely. So my name is Carolyn Arellano. I was born and raised in New Jersey. I'm currently residing in New York. I have been in the cleaning industry for about 6.5 years. I started off as a solo cleaner back in 2018. Started my cleaning business out of pure necessity. I did have a business mentor in my first year, so I was able to scale my residential cleaning business to multi-six figures. And, I have been growing my cleaning business over the years and also focusing on coaching and helping others in the space. I'm also a full-time content creator. I am a single mom, a dog mom, and I'm also a CBN network member. And I do want to just say thank you so much, AJ, for bringing me on to the channel. Because of our very first interview that we did, I believe going on maybe 3 years now. Because of that interview, it really gave me that push to get into the coaching space, and it actually gave me the urgency that I needed, even though it was something that you and I had been talking about previously. But yeah, I just want to say thank you so much, for all your support over the years.
Absolutely. I appreciate that. And I want to thank you because, you always help me in the background with any tips, any new thing you learn, you send in my way. You've been helping out with the conferences for the past few years now. So thank you too. I appreciate it. I'm glad it's mutual. So, all right. So I want to start with some basic cleaning business knowledge first, and just kind of like for the audience, for the new people who might be here, right? Just tell us, like, how did you get your first cleaning customer? And then also, what's your best way for getting customers today? And I'm going to start with residential first, because I know you do both.
Yeah, absolutely. So that's a great question. So as I mentioned, I did have some help. I had a business mentor. So I was actually able to get my very first client off of Google My Business. So prior to taking on my first clean, I had set up the Google My Business profile. I had created a website. So I did get that first client from Google My Business. She was actually a realtor, which worked out very well because she was not only our first client, but she was able to give us our first few clients. Yeah. And then when it comes to commercial, I want to say the exact same thing. It was the Google My Business profile and just being on the first page in my area.
Yeah. Okay, but now, so basically, you didn't really have to get out and go get them. They actually kind of came to you just from you being on Google.
Yes, they did. So the very first few, they came in organically just from searching. And then we did do a lot of other organic marketing in the beginning as well, because I didn't have like a ton of money. I maybe had a couple $100 to put into Google Ads. But aside from the Google pay-per-click ads, we were doing a lot of like Facebook posting, Instagram posting, blogging on the website, making all of these crazy platforms and accounts, that would help us boost our search engine searching. But yeah, so we did a lot of that, and it really worked out a lot. Currently, I will say we spend a lot more money in ads than we used to. We don't really do too much organic marketing. I mean, the Google My Business, we post every week, get reviews every week. But outside of that, we currently pay for Google Ads.
Gotcha. So you would say today Google Ads is probably your top way?
Yes, I love it. I know a lot of other people, they like using like Thumbtack and Yelp and all of that. But in my own experience, I noticed that a lot of those leads are recycled,
Yeah.
or they're not just sending it to me. They'll send it to me and everybody else. But Google has been, our best bet for the last few years.
Okay, but now I want to jump to this topic because I know a lot of people, when they want to start with a partner, right? So you actually had a partner with your cleaning company. So I kind of want to ask you, like what adjustments have you made since, the partnership ended? Because I know, if I'm not mistaken, you guys aren't partners anymore, but you still run the cleaning company currently.
Yes.
Correct?
So it's actually a great question. So when I did start the business out in 2018, I did have my partner, my sister, Hannah. We actually built the business together. She was, we did everything together in the beginning, but then the responsibilities kind of split off, where she was like head of operations and I did a lot of the back end stuff. So answering the phone, quoting, doing all of that. But we did start off cleaning together. So for the first 5 years, we grew the business with W-2 employees. We had, all the company vehicles, the office, all of the storage locations where people could come and grab their stuff. So we did, that whole building the business up from the ground, getting certified and everything, buying all the equipment. And it worked out for the first, 5 years, because I did have a partner and somebody to split the responsibilities with as the company grew. And then we ended up parting our ways, not on the best terms, unfortunately, but it happens in business. I'm not the first person to, have some kind of experience with a business partner. But we ended up splitting our ways. And when she left, it was definitely very abruptly. It was not expected. It wasn't, in my list of things to come or to do.
Yeah.
But when she left, it was definitely a huge disruption in my business, and my personal life. So aside from like being depressed and, feeling betrayed and all these other things, I had a business now that I had to run on my own. And, I will say a few things. One, she did a lot, right? She did do a lot. She was doing a lot. So once I went into a frenzy thinking about all the things that she was handling, which was the hiring, everything in operations, the hiring, the training, buying supplies, cleaning rags, restocking things, like doing all of the boots on the ground stuff. I completely freaked out because I didn't want to do any of that. And at that point in the business, I was like, you know what? I don't have it in me to give 1,000 hours a week to this business right now, right? I'm like, not in year 5. This is not going to happen. Again, I need to figure something out, right? So what did I do? Well, number one, I was like, okay, I need to figure out how to disperse the work that she was doing, right? And I was able to honestly just pay the people that I had working for me a little bit more and splitting up her responsibilities, giving this person a $2, $3 raise, but now they're lead trainer. Giving this person a $2 raise or paying them an extra X amount a week to go wash the rags. Giving
Yeah.
somebody the responsibility of, going to buy the supplies and whatnot. But I knew that was just a temporary fix, right? That was just
Right.
for the right now, because there was still the training that had to happen and just being so involved in the business. So I ended up telling my team, my core team that was working for me, and I said, listen, I'm going to give you guys about 7 or 8 months until the end of
Mhm.
the year, and we're going to change. I'm going to restructure the business. So if you want to continue working with me, you will have to start your own businesses. You are going to have to get your own insurance. You're going to have your own vehicles.
Right.
Um, and I really did help them in that process. So I helped them, get their licenses, figure
Yeah.
out what kind of insurance they need. A few of them started their business, a couple decided to go work under their own, and I restructured the business, whereas now I'm the only employee. And I work directly with other cleaning companies, such as a
Mhm.
few of the girls that I used to work with. And actually, I've been able to expand a little bit more doing this, right?
Right.
Because I work with other cleaning companies in my different areas, and coaching has been a huge help because that's mostly how I've been connecting with these people. I'm
Right.
like, oh, you're in New Jersey, you're in New York, we're already working together. I know what kind of person you are. Let me get you some work in your area. So I do the 1099 route right now, and I've been doing that for about a year and a half, maybe going on 2, and it has been amazing for me.
Yeah.
I love it. I've been able to get rid of my supply units. I've been able to buy my time back. I do have a virtual assistant who answers the phones and does all of the day-to-day activity.
Nice.
Um, yeah, and I'm finally at a point in my business where the business kind of runs itself. It does require my attention every week, obviously a few hours a day. But I'm extremely happy with how things are going. And I say this to say that if you're in a relationship, if you're in a business partnership,
Yeah.
and you feel like you couldn't make it without your partner, don't feel that way necessarily, because I learned that. And don't get me wrong, she helped me build the business from the ground up. I will never deny that. But the things that she was doing toward the end of her departure,
Mhm.
um, I could have gave to somebody else.
Yeah.
She wasn't like the end all be all of my cleaning business. And I was able to, not only kind of start fresh again, but, build the business to even making more than when she left.
Yeah. And you know what? I want to jump in there because you unpacked a lot there, and I appreciate that for you being open with that. But a lot of people, they want to start with partners, right? And I ain't gonna lie, I'm always like, bro, avoid it if as much as you possibly can, avoid it, just because I know, how many ways it could go wrong. And so I guess with you going through that, that experience, my question to you is, what advice would you give to two people that think they want to start with a partner? Because for me, real quick before you jump in it, I think it's fear. I think it's fear of the unknown, and you kind of want to get somebody to go with you. And then it's also like that loneliness, because even if you get a coach, okay, after the coach tell you to do what you got to do, it's still just you going to do what you got to do. So I think it's a combination of fear and loneliness, and that's what kind of stops people. But you got to get over it if you're gonna make it. But that's my thoughts. What are your thoughts on, for anybody thinking about starting with a partner?
And it's funny because, there's just really two ways to look at it. And I think it really depends on your personality type, right? So I am the type of person, and I learned this obviously with my sister. But also I kind of knew this, like, even in college, right? Like, I'm the kind of person that if I'm going to put work into a project or a business, then
Mhm.
I'm going to expect anybody else that is in that group to work just as hard as I'm
All
working,
right, there you go.
right? If not harder, right? Like, I can't be the one pulling everybody because I will resent that.
Yep.
So for me personally, in my opinion, I would not, if I started all over again, I would not get a partner. I wouldn't get a partner for any business for myself at this point in life, right? Like, even my mentor, my coach, we talk about like business ideas, and he's always trying to push me to get a partner, because that's how he works. Every business
Yeah.
he opens, he finds partners, and it works for him. It doesn't work for me like that, because over the last few years, and not just with my sister, but even working on projects with people, and events with people, um, I've learned that I'm not meant to be working groups, right? And not all groups. Don't get me wrong, because I'll tell you, there are some great people that I have worked with, and that we work harmoniously. Like me and AJ, our group that we have a group, our CBN group. I'm working right now with my friend Elsa. I work with my like a couple. There's a handful of entrepreneurs that I'm currently working with, and we get along harmoniously, right?
Right.
But then there are just an equal amount of people that you will run into that will not work as hard as you,
Yeah.
that will not care as much as you, and then that's where the resentment comes in. So for my personal peace of mind, I would rather work on my own, and have the responsibility of just making sure that I'm working enough, right? So really the question is, what kind of personality do you have, right? Are you going to resent somebody if you're working more than them? Do you take constructive criticism well? Can you take directions from other people? That's another thing, right? um and yeah, and like, how well do you deal with disappointment, because people are going to let you down. And for me personally, like I said, just based on my own experience, I would rather struggle on my own, because I feel like I'll end up finishing faster.
Yeah. I, exact same. Right. And I like the way you explained the part about resenting them too, because that's a lot of what mine comes from. I had a partnership in the past, and it's like the partner didn't necessarily like, I don't want to insult them, but I just know that
Right.
they weren't doing everything that I was doing, and it was bothering me. So yeah,
Right,
you know
exactly.
what I
So it's like,
mean?
right, and that's the thing. So it's like that. So if you feel like if you really do want to get a partner, by all means, go ahead and do it. But you really have to vet this person out. It can't be a friend. Even if you know this person, listen, for 25 years, start as a partnership, but not legally on paper,
There
and
you
give
go.
it 6 months and see how
Yeah.
well you guys work together. That's the best advice I can give you, because I've done that in the past. Like, I was working with a group of people recently, and they wanted to start a business with me immediately. And I knew not to. And I kept pushing it off and kept pushing it off. And sure enough, about 6 months into the project, I realized that I made a mistake, and this was not something I could continue with, because we just did not work the same.
Yeah.
Um, and the resentment was kicking in, and I was like, you know what? And on top of it, now I'm like responsible for somebody else. I'm getting upset, and I'm just like, you know what? I'm too emotional for all this. I can just put my
Yeah.
head down, focus, and get this work done in half the amount of time, and it'll be exactly how I want it to be. So that's my personal opinion, though. And like I said, there's plenty of people out there that they work well with other people. They know what they're looking for, and if you're going to find a partner, make sure they're bringing something to the table that you don't have, right? Like some kind of skills or something like that. And some kind of, like, maybe monetarily, but something that they can do, but they have to be somebody that's very disciplined and committed.
1,000%. All right, I'm gonna move to the next one. This also is going to help us unpack something that you mentioned earlier, which was, okay, y'all started off like the traditional like dream scenario where you got all these W-2 employees, you got these vehicles, everything is quote unquote legit, because that's the perception that 1099 workers
Right.
aren't legit when it is. You just got to make sure you're doing it correctly. But so being that you've had the experience with both, which route do you feel is best, and then why?
This is a good question. So I think it really depends on what your focus and your goal is. If you are looking to, okay, if you have the time, if you don't have any other job, if you have the time and you want to build this from the ground up, and you want to train people, and you want to get certified, and you want to do all these things, then sure, go the W-2 employee route, right? Why not? If you are the type of person that you're starting this business, you don't have 60 hours a week to give to it, um, and you want to have more time to yourself, I would say definitely the contractor route. Why is that? Because with contractors, you don't have to train them. You don't have to teach them how to clean. You don't have to go over the products. You don't have to buy the products. You don't have to wash rags. You don't have to restock anything. Like, my list of things that I don't have to do is long.
Yeah.
It's long, right? I just have to make sure that I'm on top of my marketing. My VA is talking to the customers, talking to the cleaners, and that everybody understands, and the hiring that is always going on. So it really depends on where you're at in your business. And then something else that I want to say is that neither one is permanent, right? Like, you can decide at any moment, And I didn't know this at first. I thought I had to do it W-2, right? Because somebody must have told me, or I saw some video online saying that, oh, subcontractors, uh, you're not going to have any control over the quality of your work. Well, guess what? Newsflash, you won't with employees either if they don't
Fact.
do a good job, right? I've been there, done that. You know how many complaints I've gotten from people that we train? Okay, I actually get less complaints working with cleaning companies, believe it or
There you
not.
go. Yeah.
Yeah, so it's like, at any given point, you can decide you want to change things, and you could do a combination of both. You could have W-2 employees, you could work with subcontractors, but it all really depends on what your goals are at the moment. If you're looking to do something that is not going to require, like I said, like 60 hours a week out of you, then the contractor route is definitely a good one. But if you're somebody that wants to be hands-on, wants to build something from the ground up and get the experience of all the things like I did,
Mhm.
but not I didn't do it on purpose. I did it because I didn't know any better. Then yeah, I mean you could also do the W-2 route. There are definitely benefits, and there's pros and cons to the two. So it's really like what your goal is right now.
Gotcha. Okay. Now you said something interesting. This question I'm about to ask wasn't in my question notes, right? But anytime somebody says something interesting, I got to deviate and go into that. So you said ads, Google Ads was like your number one way for attracting customers, right? So my question to you is, are you doing them yourself or do you pay somebody else to do that for you?
So that's actually a really good question. So my Google pay-per-click ads, I did have a professional set them up. I tried
Okay.
on my own, and it was a fail because they are a little bit complicated. Um,
Yeah.
and then I use Google Local Service Leads, which is a different
Mhm.
ad platform that I did by myself. It's pretty self-explanatory.
Yeah.
I think it's kind of made where you can't mess it up, right? You
Right.
pick your services, you put some photos up, you pick your areas, you put your budget, and you know what you're gonna get. Um, Pretty basic. The pay per click, it's like you have to like put all these search words in and negative this, and it's a mess.
Yeah.
But yeah, so local service leads, I think it's something that anyone can set up. But the pay per click leads, I did have to pay somebody. It was like I think we paid like $3,000 or $4,000 for them to set them up a couple
Mhm.
of years ago. Um, yeah, but yeah, definitely, look to a professional if you're not sure what you're doing. And that's with any kind of ads, right? I even hear people say like, "Oh, I tried Facebook ads." And I'm like, "But did you like take like a little mini course?
Right.
Did you do something, or maybe even some YouTube videos out there are amazing,
Yep.
tutorials, right? But
Yep.
I wouldn't say try to do anything just like on your own. At least watch a tutorial, and if you don't get the results out of something, it's because you did them yourself.
Yeah, I got it. Because I got an interview with a guy too on Thursday. He's an ads expert, and I was going back and forth on should I do my usual jump in my bag and just lock in and take a course and then just go do it myself, or just pay the professional to do it. And in this case, I'm kind of leaning towards paying the professional. So I just want to see what you were doing on it. So appreciate that.
Yeah,
That's a
yeah.
selfish question.
So, some stuff, you know what? And it's that's a good point because like um me and you, we do love to learn a lot of stuff on our
Right.
own, and then we like to implement it. But yeah, sometimes it's just better off like
Yep.
is our 10 hours worth it? You know what I
And there
mean?
you
Like
go. It's
yeah,
not worth our
yeah,
time anymore after a while. Yeah,
yeah.
exactly.
Exactly.
All right, but now I'm gonna shift a little bit from the cleaning business, and I want to talk about your coaching because I gotta ask you this. Everybody always asks, right? What's up? Who's that? Instagram?
Yeah,
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 so
yeah. I
that's on the camera,
got this guy on Instagram.
right? Right. But anyway, everybody always asks, and I should be doing that myself at some point. I'll get you. But anyway, everybody always asks, like, okay, well, since the cleaning business is so great, then why don't you just do that full time? Why are you wasting your time doing coaching as well? So I got my
That's a
answer
good
to
one.
that, but I always like to ask all the other coaches as well, especially the ones who still actively have the cleaning business too, right? So, like, how would you answer that question if somebody asked that?
I absolutely love that question. So, and the question being, even though the cleaning business is doing good, or why not focus more on that, right? So I'll tell you this. I have learned in, like I said, in the last 5.5, 6 years in business that I don't really like to manage people. And
Yeah,
that's just me. That's my personality, right? I don't really like to manage people. So that's why I have my cleaning business set up with, the contractors. Um, and working on my coaching business, I also I'm making multi six figures. And I did in my first year. So for me, it's like, okay, do I want to focus on putting more effort into this, which is going to take a lot of time, right? And I do love it. Or do I want to do what I actually really love and enjoy? It's not just the money, you guys. It's literally the fact that I like it. I
Yeah.
love it, not like it. I love it. I love talking to people. I love helping people. Um, I've always been like super compassionate and empathetic, and I used to think that it was like such a bad thing because I would be like overly emotional in throughout life. But like now I know why I was built like this, and it's to help other people because I can feel what other people are feeling, right? So for me, why do the coaching business? Because it's what I love, and I also
Yeah.
know that it's the next step to like my own personal journey, which I don't even know what that is yet, right? I don't know if that's going to be
Right.
like with public speaking. Maybe I'll be a life coach. Who knows? I don't
Yeah.
know. But I do know that the cleaning business is my core business. It's a part of my personality. It's what's gotten me to where I'm at today. And like I said, it's more about what you love, right? If I loved my cleaning business, and that would be my main focus, and that's what I would
Yeah.
be building on. And if that is your love and your passion, then that's amazing. That's
Right.
amazing. God bless you. But for me personally, it's not my calling. Like it's part of my journey. Yeah.
Yeah. 1,000%. Now I'm gonna segue a little bit and kind of go a little bit deeper on that because I think I've seen a lot of people come and go, right? I've been doing this for a long, long time, but I'll watch and I'll just see like new people pop up and they try to do the coaching thing or do the YouTube and they speak about this industry, right? And then after a while, they kind of die off. And so typically, I'll reach out, a lot of times to people in this space and try to see if I can help. Like, you know what? You killing it. You sharing good information. Come to my platform and let's see if we can find some synergy there. As long as you're not directly competing against me type shit. But anyway, so long story
Mm-hmm.
short, I'm trying to ask you this has it been easy? Because like I said, a lot of people come through this and they drop off. And I'm thinking it's because one, it's not as easy as they thought it was, or two, like you said, maybe they don't love helping people the way that we do. But
Mm-hmm.
from your experience, has it been an easy transition in coaching and dealing with it? Because you're still dealing with people. You're not necessarily managing people, but you're dealing with people. So what are your thoughts on that?
Absolutely. That's a
Yeah.
great question. So I will say that it's a full-time job. Let me
Yeah.
put that out there. It's a 100% full-time job. I don't want anybody to think that going into coaching or content creating, you're going to work any less than you did with any full-time business. I had this coaching business was just like my cleaning business. I had to figure everything out, my products, my services, my market research. I'm blessed that I have people like you that put me on to things to get me my results faster. But it's a real business, and
Yeah.
AJ, we talk about this all the time. It is. We constantly have to create content.
Yeah.
That's our sales funnel. Every time, do I want to film every day? No, of course not. I have
Right.
to, but I have to stick to a schedule. So this is a full-time job. If you do not have full-time energy and full-time hours to put to it, no, you're not going to get far. Everything has to be done in volume. It wasn't easy for me also in the beginning because although I was dealing with people on the customer service end and sales, the camera was like a transition for me, talking to a camera, listening to my voice, seeing what I look like, all those things being weird. But I'm glad that I stuck it through and I kept going. But no, it's a full-time job, just so everybody knows that. And it costs money also, right? Like I pay, you have a team of, I don't know how many people right now. I have a team of
Right.
5 and it costs me thousands of dollars, right? Every week, everybody has to get paid also. We have editors, we have graphic designers. I have my daughter, I have all these people doing all this work for me. So it is a full-time job, number one. You have to have full-time hours. You have to be dedicated. It's just like regular business. Like in the beginning, you're doing all this work and you don't see the results. But you got to keep pushing through it. And also, if you are the type of person that doesn't genuinely like to help people, that doesn't care about people, if you're not empathetic and you are just in it for the money, then this is not for you. Because I'll tell you this, people are not just going to throw their money at you. People are not just going to want to work with you, right? You have to build a community. You have to build trust. You have to build relatability. So for a whole entire year of making videos and not making a dime, I had to keep showing up just to give people stuff for free. And we still do that, you and I, all the time, all these videos, right? And you have to be genuine and just be yourself. So I think the reason why we see so many people pop up and not last, it's either because they go in this with the wrong intentions, like not with a good heart, but they're out to scam people or take people's money, or they just don't have the hustle for it because it is a full-time job and they go in thinking like, oh, I'm gonna go content create. This is so easy. Like, no,
Right.
it's not.
Right, 1,000%. Now, speaking of content creation, you being on, you got a personal brand now, you got a decent following, right? And so you being on social media, and like, how's that affected your cleaning business at all? And I mean, like, maybe as far as people working for you, or even like when it comes to customers, have you seen it affect your business in any way at all?
Actually, both. So some of my customers, they either have found my channel somehow, or I might have mentioned it, and they think it's so awesome. They
Yeah.
love it. They're like, they're just so happy. And even like my customers, some of them know because I'll bring in the contractors and introduce them to the client. And I'll be like, this is, Marlene. She works for a company nearby. She works for my company. She's also a student of mine. So they think it's really cool. They do love that. And then it has been a huge help, like I mentioned, with finding subcontractors, because I'm already speaking to these people. Every week I'm talking to probably hundreds of cleaning companies, and I'm trying to get an understanding, where you're from, where you're at in your business. And then the moment that I hear they're in my area, I'm like, let's work together. And that has been awesome because now I'm coaching people that I was coaching online, but now I'm also giving them work in person. They want free training. It's great for me because I'm already working with them. So yeah, it's been a huge help, actually. It really has. It's been awesome in more ways than one.
That's what's up. And I think it helps too that you keep your stuff nice and clean. Unlike me, you don't be up there cussing and shit and getting carried away. So good. But anyway, so all right, bam. So I'm gonna do one more thing on that, and then all right, bam. I got 2 more questions before the lightning round. So
Okay.
you are good at YouTube, clearly. And I haven't checked in a while, but periodically I'll check. And I think between you and DJ the Boss, y'all like the next 2, right? And so, like, I guess what tips would you give somebody that's thinking about starting YouTube, and maybe they hearing how, like, damn, okay, I can see how she could spend that to help her clean the business, so they thinking about doing it now. What advice would you give to somebody to build that YouTube up the proper way?
So the YouTube the proper way. First, I would say definitely pick, your niche. Who are you talking to? You can't be speaking to. So, for example, if you're going to be talking to your clients, right, then it has to be to your clients. That channel has to be educational, and it has to be about why people should go with your business, and maybe teach them about all the things, cleaning wise. But you can't talk to your clients and then clean all their cleaning companies also. It's like you have to really decide who you're speaking to. That's number one. Because you can't just make a ton of videos, because then you won't have the right followers, right? So that's number one. Like, know exactly who you're talking to. Be consistent, of course, right? Like I said, for my first couple hundred videos wasn't getting that many likes and views and stuff, but you have to just keep doing it. And then also see what other people are doing in your circle, right? See what your competition is doing, right? Like, for example, when I started my YouTube channel, I looked at AJ's channel. I was looking at AJ's channel, Miss Tenacity's channel, the Tenacity Academy. I was looking at Miss Jasmine Sanders' channel. And see, like, what kind of things are they doing? Like, what's the most popular, right? And here's something else. I just want to just say this really quickly. This is not fault copying, you guys. Okay, I'm telling you this with AJ on here because it's called market research, right? It's like, of course, you're gonna see what other people are doing that's working for them, and then you make it your own, obviously, right? You're not gonna go steal somebody's stuff word for word. You're not gonna go, but it's called market research. So that's what I did. I looked and I said, okay, what what is AJ doing so well? You know, like he's doing awesome. He's doing great. What is he doing that I could try? But make it my own, right? Because we all are going to speak to different audiences. That's another thing, right? Like, who are you talking to? And another thing, talking about kind of audiences, is be yourself. Be as much as yourself as possible. You know, that's why I loved AJ's channel when I found his, because I'm like, oh my God, like I really, really like this guy. Like I can relate to him on so many levels, right? He's like me in this way and that way. So be yourself, be genuine. It's so much easier to be genuine, because if you start faking it in the beginning and acting like a certain way, it's hard to keep up with later on, right? Because then it's like you said, you know, oh, you know, you speak proper or whatever. If that's what you're gonna do, like stay consistent. You know what I mean? Yeah. But if you cuss, be yourself. But be yourself always, right? Because like that's why so many of us love AJ's channel. You know what I mean? So be yourself. You know, don't be phony. People are gonna love you for you. And be consistent, see what other people are doing in your area. And also at the same time, don't overanalyze what other people are doing either, right? Like in the beginning, you can just try to get some ideas, but don't always worry about what the next person is doing, because it might not be the right thing. You want to do what works for you.
1,000%. That's super great advice. And I kind of want to double down on that part where you basically, I saw a video yesterday. It was, the title said, I didn't click it, but it was Seth Godin. He said, what did he say? Something along. He said, copy because life is too short. And I didn't even have to click the video. I knew what he meant. It's basically, it's like emulate the greats. Like people already exist that's already done it successfully. Just follow the blueprint. Like
why reinvent the wheel? Yeah, why reinvent the wheel?
And like you said, you got your own personality. Just do it your way. Like, because whenever I run out, I do my best not to look at people in our niche, right? But whenever I run out of material, I get dry and I don't know what to do. I'm typing in, all right, let me see what they talking about. Look what Carolyn doing. What DJ doing? What Tenacity doing? Let me see what everybody doing and let's see what the top, because I'll forget. You know, I've talked about most of this stuff probably 200 times already, but it's like, you know, I got to make a new version of that. And it's like the stuff gets stale. So you got to see, okay, well, what's trending? You know, what sounds are they using? Why is my shit all of a sudden my views are declining? So I got to fix it. You know what I mean? So 1,000%, I'm with you on that. Now, last question before we go into this lightning round. You're going to be a speaker at the CBN conference this year. First one to open up on Thursday morning. So all pressure's on, right? So, but I know you got it. That's why I specifically chose you, because I know you got it. So what can people expect from you at this year's CBN conference, July 23rd to the 25th in Jacksonville, Florida? What can we get from Carolyn Arellano?
Well, I'll tell you this. Expect to get energized and hyped up, and also expect for me to, I guess I could cuss a little bit. I'm gonna be digging into everybody's ass in my speech, okay? So
right, we on my channel now, so you can.
Yeah,
we
on your channel. I'm gonna be digging into everybody's ass during my speech. I'm gonna get everybody, you know, prepared mentally, emotionally. I'm gonna be speaking actually a little bit about mindset and all the things that kind of go into that with being an entrepreneur, because I feel like it's a really huge important part of being successful is changing the way you think and your habits and the people you hang around. So I'm definitely going to be dropping a lot of gems, you know, from a lot of different authors and people and things that I've applied in my life, and I know you have too. But yeah, I'm really excited for the speech. And yeah, I'm going to be bringing the energy and really just setting the tone, you know, for the rest of the speakers that are going to be coming up. It's going to be 9 o'clock in the morning. I'm going to be up, ready to go. Okay. I'm going to definitely be networking with you guys the night before, but you will not see me drinking anything or taking any shots. But I will tell you what, as soon as I get off that stage, it's go time.
Yeah. Hey, look, so that's why I actually started at 10. So I always try to make sure I start at 10 because I know we like to turn up a little tiny bit, but I'm the same. I told myself that first night, I'm not doing too much because I already know we got to get up the next day and handle business. So, But anyway. Lightning round time. I'm going to say a word or a phrase. You just tell me the first thing that goes to mind. Here we go. Okay. New York.
So New York, Dumbo, Brooklyn. That's where I want to live. If you guys want to check it out on the map, that's where I'm going to live one day when I'm multimillionaire.
That's what's up. Well, I know about that because of Jay-Z. He said it in a rhyme not too long ago. So,
Oh, really? I did not know
yeah,
that.
he did. He said he was a Dumbo for not investing in Dumbo. But anyway, so
Period.
yeah. All right. Next one is New Jersey.
New Jersey, home, Taylor Ham, New Jersey Shore.
Okay, but next one, Facebook or TikTok for growing your business?
Facebook.
Okay, fair
Facebook.
enough.
Uh-huh.
At any time, if you feel like you want to expound, feel free.
Yeah, no problem.
But all right, your definition of wealth.
My definition of wealth is, it's definitely changed. So my definition of wealth, number one, is health. Because if we're not healthy, we can't do shit. Can't run a business, can't do day to day. Also, time, to me, like quality time. And I think those two definitely, my health and quality time with, your family, and time to do things.
But so I think I might have spilled that answer into this one I'm about to ask, which
It's
is
okay.
your definition of success.
Oh, okay. So this is a good one. So my definition of success is being able to take care of my family, give them a good quality of life. Also having enough time to do the things that I want to do, to spend time with my kids. And also, being able to make my own schedule. And like I had said kind of previously, like just being able to have the time to be healthy. That's my definition of success. Yeah, and
Okay.
also like always improving, just constant improvement. Doesn't have to be a huge, leap, but just always kind of improving every day.
That's what's up. I love it. All right, next one, the cleaning industry.
The cleaning industry. I would say it's a good question. I almost want to say family. I'm going to say family.
Okay, that's ironic because my next one is family.
That's funny. The cleaning industry, the cleaning industry, and my obviously my main unit of the family. But it's funny that you asked those two, because like when I first started this business, I didn't have any kind of friends like you guys or like a family. But now I feel like yeah, community, family. I feel like they really do, they mesh. Like both of my worlds, they're like they combine somehow.
Yeah, now for real though. And I heard y'all say it a lot when we first started our group with the clubhouse and stuff. And I heard y'all say like, these are my friends now and all of that. I heard y'all say it, but I never really internalized it until I started hearing y'all say it. And I started looking at like, damn, I talked to, Tony and Brandon and you and Mila. I talked to y'all more than I talked to, my friends.
Your friends, yeah.
Right. And it's like, damn, this really is my new family. It is my new friend. So
that's exactly what has happened over the last couple. And I am not complaining by any means, you guys. And that's why you guys, and I'm going to do a little plug here, but that's why you guys need to get to the Clean Biz Network Conference 2025, because prior to going to these networking events and reaching out to people online like AJ, I had my business by myself, and then I had my family and my friends. The focus now, or the kind of change that we're talking about, is like my friends are like my family, but my friends own cleaning businesses, and now I talk to them more often, and it's a beautiful, beautiful thing. So, make sure you guys get out to the Clean Biz Network Conference 2025. We'll have the link obviously in this video, but you really don't know who you'll meet. You never know where a relationship can go. And it's been such a huge blessing.
1,000%. And not to trying not to over talk it, but it's real though. And it's like a lot of, man, as long as I had CBN around and like nobody had my number or anything, right? I'm supposed to like protect it and this and that. But it's like, no, first off, people busy too. We all entrepreneurs, we all busy. So it's not like nobody was gonna blow me up anyway. They understand. I got, you know what I mean? I got stuff going on. And so, but I made so many more friends just actually getting out here, because I'm an introvert, right? And like I don't really know nobody for real. But going to these conferences, like you said, like that's how I started creating this network now. And that's why like so many more CBN members actually got my number. They can text me whenever they want to and all that. But anyway, let me speed this up because we're taking way longer than I expected to. My bad.
Okay.
All right. So your thoughts on gratitude?
Gratitude. Oh man, you definitely have to be heavy with the gratitude. I feel like if you're not grateful what you currently have, then the universe isn't going to give you, what you're already, what you have, or what you want for your future. And definitely, I feel like life has humbled me so many times that I'm grateful by default.
Facts. Same here. All right. Who was your role model growing up?
I would say my dad was my role model.
That's what's up.
He was an entrepreneur, always had some kind of business going on, and yeah, he was awesome. He still is. He's my role model.
That's what's up. Okay, but I'm glad I asked you that because I never had the chance to hear you say that. So
Hmm.
good. I'm glad I got that out there. All right. What else we got? Favorite hobby when you got some free time?
Favorite hobby. Okay, so I have a new one. It used to be smoking weed, you guys. It's still something that I do, but it's not my hobby. I
Right.
actually started jogging, so running and walking now has been my favorite hobby. I'm not a very athletic person. Like I don't go to the gym. I don't like doing that, but I do really do love being outside. So that's definitely my favorite hobby. I get to push myself. Um, Same thing as like in business. I love seeing how much further I can go in shorter amount of time. And on top
Yeah.
of it, I can start to see the physical difference. So that's my favorite hobby right
That's
now.
what's up.
It'll
Okay.
change
Right.
probably.
Right. That's what's up. All right. Best decision you've made in business so far?
The best decision I have made in business so far is to believe in myself, even when I have every reason not to think that I'm gonna make it. So yeah, best decision so far, believing in myself and staying consistent on the days that I don't feel motivated, and ignoring all the negativity because I get a lot of that every day, but we gotta just
Yeah.
ignore it.
1000%. All right. Last one. Top 5 entrepreneurs. I guess right now. I won't say all time because it could change, but your top 5 favorite entrepreneurs.
Top 5 favorite entrepreneurs. Now, this is a good one. Top 5 favorite entrepreneurs. Damn.
Right.
Yeah, yeah. No, no, I'm trying to think. So shit. There's so many of them, man. I follow so many people. Give me another question. Sorry, I'm terrible at names.
That was the last one. Well, I'll tell you. Let's say who's the one entrepreneur that you feel like you follow the most right now?
The one entrepreneur, that's a good question. So the one entrepreneur that I feel like I'm following the most right now that probably influences me the
Yeah,
most
that's what
is
I want
it,
to say.
yeah, that is influencing me the most. I would say that's a female also, because right now that's kind of like what I've been looking at. I will say Layla Hormozy.
Nice.
Um, yeah, I don't agree with like everything that she does and says, but I look at her and I definitely get motivated. And I just love, how she's like, no bullshit.
Facts. You know what? I really like her because I've seen people do this, and hopefully it's not a shot in any way at anybody, but I've seen people do that where the guy will be like the talking head in the entrepreneur space or whatever, and then it's like, well, hell, let's bring in the wife and let's let her talk too. And then it's like she comes and it's like, man, like it don't really
Yeah,
click the same because you could tell that he was really the guy, right?
right,
And it's
right.
like with them, no, she really
Yeah,
knows her
yeah.
shit. You know what I mean? It's
Yeah,
like I
you
love it.
you know that like separately, like they're
Yeah.
both like beasts, right? And then like
Regardless.
coming
Yeah.
together, yeah, yeah, they definitely match each other's energy, and I do love that about her. And what I love about her too, she's like big into her health, and she's just like no bullshit, man. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
She loves to spend money too. I feel like we're alike in that way. She's like, I work hard enough. I'm gonna be wearing the designer. You know what I mean?
Right.
But yeah, her and her husband, they're pretty awesome. But yeah, Layla, shout out to Layla Hormozy.
That's what's up. All right, back into the regular questions, and I won't hold you long with these ones. So, one, I want to ask you about the conference one more time. So, you've been to the last two? This will be a third, I think. So, after going before, you're speaking this year. Who do you think would be the right person to come?
Oh, this is great. So the right candidate to come to the CBN network is anybody that is in the cleaning industry that is looking to grow their network, that
Mm,
is looking to grow their knowledge base, So it doesn't matter if you haven't started already, if it's just a thought. It doesn't matter if you've been in business for the last 10 years but haven't done anything with it. Doesn't matter if you've been in the business for 25 years and you're already making, over $500,000 a year. There is information that anybody at any level can take away from this event. Like I said, you could be doing, $500,000 a year. There are going to be people in the room that are doing even more than that, right? There are going to be so many awesome speakers talking about different topics. And like I said, even if for some very slim chance, you're already applying everything that we're going to talk about into your business. And again, I highly doubt that. The value of just networking with the people alone that are in this space is worth any investment that you guys can possibly make. I also know that this year's tickets are at a very, 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 very reasonable price.
Yeah.
So there's no excuse not to come. AJ has also made it so that you can have a payment plan available, so you can pay in four. So this is for anybody that wants to grow in their business, whether you want to make the switch from residential into commercial, or whether you're in commercial but you feel stuck and you just want to learn how to get more contracts, how to be more efficient. And if you just feel like you need help, if you need help in your business, you feel like your schedule isn't full, you feel like you're unmotivated maybe, or you feel like you've just been doing the same shit and you're getting the same results, this is the event for you. And I had said this to somebody yesterday. Actually, I got a student on the phone. She lives in Georgia. I invited her to the event. I was telling her, I said, listen, you're only a few hours from Jacksonville. I've been to plenty of these networking events. I said, I've even thrown my own, and I have a couple of my own coming up, but there's nothing like the Clean Biz Network event. Like, the group of people that make up CBN is unlike no other. We are super laid back. We are super raw. We are super authentic, but we still mean business. So come out. If you're an introvert, this is a great first networking event for you, because we are so non-judgmental. That's the best word I can think of, right? We are the least judgmental group of people out there. I feel like everybody is a little bit judgy, or you get that feel of it, right? You know what I mean? But this is, you can come be yourself. You don't have to worry about not being yourself or sugarcoating something. You could be making negative $100,000 a year. Nobody's going to care. You know what I mean? We're here to grow and learn, and we are also open to share the struggles and our accomplishments. I think this is a great first event for you guys to come out to, or second or third event. I'm going to be there. Make it a family trip. Bring your family with you. Stay a couple of days early, stay a couple of days late. I'm sure AJ has made some arrangements. If you need to bring the kids, he has a professional babysitting sitter on site. So check it out, you guys. Do not make the mistake of not coming. It's super affordable, and whatever you end up spending, you're going to get back tenfold.
1,000%. I'm just gonna cut that and just run the ad to that. Like that's
You
the
should.
ad right there.
You should.
For real.
You have my full permission.
But I appreciate it. All right, now
Please do.
One more question.
Make that a sizzle.
Right? For real though. All right, now after being in business for as long as you have, if you had to start all over again, like, is there anything that you would have done differently?
Yes, there is. So first and foremost, what I would have done is I definitely would have went the contractor route, just because I do value my time. Number two, I wouldn't have spent the couldn't even tell you, tens of thousands of dollars in training and equipment, because I didn't know that you could subcontract a lot of the work out. You don't have to do it in-house. And that's really it. That's all I really would have changed in business, was how I set it up, and the amount of, again, it comes back to money and time that I invested, that I could have easily just been like, oh, hey, do you want to do this job, and make a couple dollars on it. And also something else, I would not get too comfortable, right? We all get a little comfortable when business starts going good, and that's when things happen to slow down. Those are just the three things I would have changed.
But love it. Now, final one before we ask you how we're going to follow you, which is always, if somebody's watching this video right now or listening to it on the podcast, they think Carolyn's the shit and they want to be like her and start a business. But at the very same time, they're like, I don't know. I'm scared. What if I mess up? I'm not sure this is for me. What advice would you give to that person right now?
I'll tell you what, you know what your life is currently like. I don't know what your life is like, but you know what your life is like. You're living that life right now. Okay. So you know what it's going to be like if you don't start the business. That's enough for me. You know what life is going to be like if you don't do it. So forget having the fear of what if it doesn't work. The fear should be, if I don't even start, then I'm just going to continue to live like this. So like, I think, you know, don't overanalyze it. Don't overthink it. Believe in yourself. And I'll tell you something, there's nothing special about me. You know, if you know anything about my story, I've had plenty of struggle throughout my life. You know, plenty of reasons to not have made it, plenty of reasons to have laid down and quit already. But if I can make it with the little bit of resources that I had throughout life and, you know, making what I made from nothing, then you can absolutely do it. There's nothing special about me. You know, I'm not the chosen one. I'm not some genius. You probably have a higher IQ than me. You know what I mean? So if I can do it, you can do it. Don't overthink it. Don't overanalyze it. Like I said, the fear should be, if you don't start, then this is just, you're going to continue to live life the way you have. But, you know, the fact that it's just the not knowing the work to do, but you'll definitely get to your goal. I've always just done shit to just do it. Like I do it. I don't know how I'm going to do it. I don't even think half the time I don't even think I'm going to make it, but I just keep doing it because I know that if I don't, then I'm just going to be back to where I started, and I don't want to be there.
Facts, 1,000%. I couldn't have said it better. Carolyn Arellano, y'all. Appreciate you for coming on, Carolyn. Let us know how we can follow your journey, how we can find y'all across the internet.
Absolutely. So please be sure to follow me on YouTube at Carolyn Arellano. You can follow me on Instagram at Carolyn CEO. And more importantly, you can come see me in person at the Clean Biz Network event 2025. I will be the opening speaker. It's a speech you do not want to miss. Okay. It's going to be the best one yet.
Yeah.
So please be sure to come this 2025. I think it's going to be, what are the dates again? July
23rd through the 25th.
Through the 26th. We will see you guys in Jacksonville, Florida. You guys click that link down below and get your tickets before they are sold out.
Let's do it, y'all. Thank you so much, Carolyn. I appreciate it. What's up, y'all? It's AJ Simmons, and it's time again, y'all. We're doing the Clean Biz Network Conference again this July 23rd through the 25th, 2025. Get your tickets at cbnconference.com. But before you do that, let me tell you why you should do it. Y'all already know how we gonna do it, y'all. We got so many guest speakers for y'all. Top notch as always. I'm talking Carolyn Arellano. I'm talking Andrew Lewis, that is, from the automation program. You know myself as well. I'm definitely gonna be a speaker this year. And I got some surprises for y'all. I'm not gonna give y'all all the speakers ahead of time. You just gotta get in the building, all right? But you already know it's gonna be top notch. And we definitely gonna have some featured guests. You already know Tenacity Clean, Tenacity Academy will be in the building. DJ The Boss is scheduled to be here as well. Peter Bolin is definitely scheduled to be here, and he's also a sponsor for this year's event. Shout out to Peter. Mario Kelly will definitely be in the building. You do not want to miss this event, y'all. Make sure you get your tickets. Okay, so now, this area we're in right here, this is where all our vendors and sponsors will be. So if you kind of get a look at these tables here, you see we're gonna have the food trays out. We're gonna have the vendors nonstop. I mean, it's gonna be real. Y'all know how we do it here at CBN, y'all. And then I'm gonna take you into the actual conference area. So if we walk into here, and so this is not even close to what we got going on. You see that wall right there? It opens. And so we're gonna open that wall all the way down to accommodate the 200 cleaning business owners all over the country and beyond the country, because shout out to Canada. Canada always shows up for us, and other countries as well. And so we all gonna come out. It'll be a big enough space to accommodate all of us, hundreds of cleaning business owners all in one area, coming together, almost like a family reunion, getting educated
and getting celebrated, y'all. And as you can see, plenty of entertainment. Like I said, bring the kids, y'all. We got the pool area. It's Florida, what do you expect? You know what I mean? Like, we gonna be chilling, it's a vibe, y'all. Palm trees, just waiting, you know what I mean? How you chilling in the sun, just the way we do down here in Florida, y'all. Now, if you like me, you know you're gonna wanna get your workout on. So we definitely got the workout center over here. Come on, get your workout in. Just cause we out here, we on vacation a little bit, we business a little bit, but we definitely gotta stay in shape. Health as well, we already know that. So you already know where I'm gonna be. Y'all gonna meet me at the bar. Y'all know I prefer a beer, so if you wanna treat me to a drink, just bring me a little Michelob Ultra or Bud Light, I'll be just fine, all right? But we definitely gonna have the bar for y'all open as well. Come on, pull up and get you a drink and get comfortable. Meet some people, collab, man, get out that house and come network with us. All right, now I'm gonna tell y'all a little story about this little pool table right here. Tenacity Academy team came over here, Miss Johnson, Miss Tamika, they came over here, they played me and Regina. They lost, right? They lost to us in a little game of pool. So if y'all trying to get next on this pool table, make sure y'all come meet us here at the Clean Business Network Conference in 2025, y'all, come on. All right, look, y'all. So I showed you around, let you see what it's gonna be. It's your chance just to pull up, man. Come on out here, chill with us, build with the #1 cleaning business network in the industry, y'all. The Clean Biz Network. Meet us at our annual conference down here in Jacksonville, Florida. It's always sunny. Y'all know the vibes with me. We chilling, but we also gonna learn, we gonna get educated, and we gonna turn up. We gonna celebrate our industry, y'all, because we are the most overworked and most overlooked, y'all. So it's time that you come get celebrated and get the flowers that you deserve, y'all. Meet me down here, Jacksonville, Florida, July 23rd to the 25th. Get your tickets at www.cbnconference.com. We're gonna have a live DJ throughout the entire event. Y'all already know how we do it. The best speakers in the world is gonna be here for the industry, y'all. We got cleaning companies coming from all over the country as well as outside of the country, y'all. This is that one event every year that you do not want to miss. Don't be the one. Don't be that one this year saying, oh, I should have came. Oh, when's the next one? You never know if it's going to be a next one or not. So come to this one, y'all. Get your tickets. I'm AJ Simmons. I'll talk to y'all later.